What's up guys, it's Jeffrey back with another daily technicals video, and after going over the charts at the beginning, at the end of this video I am going to go over the GBP USD trade that I took last night and basically where that's going and where we're at currently. So let's talk about the dollar index. And let me actually take this off. I don't want all these lines to be confusing you, but keep in mind we're still in that range that I've been mentioning. And I'm not sure if you watched the previous daily technical videos or the weekly outlook video, but we were looking at this ICT daily bullish order block here, and so far it's held as support and we've seen a push up higher, but we've traded into a bearish ICT breaker on the daily time frame. So since trading into that, we've pulled back and closed here. So technically this is still confirming our bearish bias because we haven't made a higher high. We haven't broke this yet. This could potentially be a daily lower high, and then we could see a lower low form. But current price action, we haven't seen that yet. So I am going to be monitoring this going into London and through New York session tomorrow. And I'll see if we have any potential trade setups that we could execute before week's close. Now, the only thing is we do still have these equal highs up here that I was mentioning. And since we've traded and found support here, and on a 4-hour time frame, we have had a break in market structure, I'm starting to believe for the end of the week, they're going to want to take this higher and maybe clear out these highs tomorrow, which could lead us into a bullish week next week, ultimately taking out the range high that we've been mentioning back up into this ICT bearish order block here. So that is a scenario that I have written down in my journal. And if that's something that you don't have yet, keep a little notebook next to you anytime you're looking at the charts or anything, and just write down different ideas you have for the pairs that you're watching, whether you think you're going to see bullish scenario unfold or bearish scenario. I tend to write both. That way I basically have an idea of whatever direction the market's going to go, whether it goes up or down. And also, if you're looking here on an hourly time frame, we found resistance, which is also that daily ICT breaker, but it's left in equal highs here. So to me, I'm just seeing more reason for them to want to take dollar index higher before continuing lower. Since we've had such a strong push down already, I'm thinking we may get a retracement back up at very minimum up into this bearish ICT order block here, and then see further selling from there. But I am watching this because if we do break above this high, then I'm expecting us to take out this range high back into this ICT bearish order block, which would then lead to shorts on fiber and cable, and maybe we could see a retracement on dollar CAD as well, because we've been looking for shorts on that. And we've seen some pretty good movement so far early in the week with dollar CAD, but yesterday was a really ugly day for price action. We basically just consolidated all day. And we'll look at that pair in just a second. But let's take a look real quick at one more thing on dollar index. I'm just trying to make sure we got the clearest read here. So on a 15-minute time frame, until we break this low here. Oh, sorry, I know once I did that, all the lines came back. Just focus your attention on this low here. I'll make it red so you could see it clear. This low, if we trade below here and start to find support at this ICT bullish order block, they're gonna want to take it higher tomorrow. But if we break below this and we don't find any support, so say we break through this clearly and trade through this level here, any retest of that should be a good optimal entry for shorts, supporting our higher time frame long bias on foreign currency. So that would be, if this continues lower, breaks this, and then we get a retest and we see further selling from there, that'll still hold for our longs on foreign currency that we have. All right, so let's take a look at, we'll look at cable last. Okay. If we look at fiber, Euro USD, what we've seen yesterday is a solid retracement, but we've seen the opposite happen in dollar index, traded into an ICT bearish order block here, and we've seen sell-off since there. So if we do get that push up in dollar I was just talking about, then I'm thinking they're going to want to take euro dollar down into this ICT bullish order block here, because they've got some sell stops here and some sell stops here, as well as here. So they would be clearing out a lot of liquidity by taking this lower and then finding some support at this ICT bullish order block to ultimately target those that 125 level that we've been aiming for. So keep in mind that if we do get that push up on dollar index and start to break that range, then this is what I'm looking for the next best buying entry for Euro USD. And another thing is, if we draw our fib from this swing low here to this swing high, why are we using this swing here? Is because it's the most recent trading range that we're trading in, and this is the current swing that we're in, right? So this is the only swing that's formed, and we've just been consolidating. So if we do trade back into this ICT bullish order block, notice 62% takes us right below this sell side liquidity here and here. We got 70.5 right above this ICT bullish order block, and then 79% retracement level comes in right at the ICT bullish order block. So this 1.25 level or 1.21, let's actually mark that out real quick. So 1.21 as well as 1.205 are the levels I am going to be watching for potential buying scenarios. So all I've done now is basically just set alerts on MetaTrader to now send me alerts when these levels get hit. And if you don't know how to do that, it's really simple. You basically just go trading, alert, and it will set an alert for you at that price level and notify you by sound or via text or email. So if you want me to actually make a video on explaining in detail how to do that, leave a comment below and I'll do that. Just say, hey, I need to learn how to set alerts, and I'll make a video or something if we get a good bit of request for that. So let me delete this alert because we don't need that one. So keep in mind 121 and 125 is 205 is what we're looking at for potential longs for Euro USD. And I will save this as a template so we can refer to this in the future. Buy scenario. Alright. So now in future videos we can just pull up this chart and basically put on Euro USD buy scenario and see what we're looking for. Okay, so we do know if we break this low here, then we're going to want to see continued downside, but this is my favorite levels to buy this pair, and stop loss would go below here, targeting the range high as well as the wicks high here. So, but 125 would be essentially what I'm aiming for, and anything extra is really just a bonus. But for short-term trades, on the bullish side, I'd be targeting each swing high that was formed prior to that. So if this trade's lowered straight down from here, like this, if we just get a solid push down, and this is the last swing high in place, then for my targets, I'd be targeting this level, then I'd be targeting this level, then I'd be targeting this level. Okay, so stop loss below this low, targeting each swing high that was formed on the downside as the market's pushing higher. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at cable, GBP USD. And we will go over the trades that I have taken. Let me just open up a new chart and we'll look at this on a daily time frame. Default, okay. So you could see this week we've had a solid week so far on cable. Strong bullish week. Looks to me like we're going to be targeting this high here. So far we've taken out this week's high, and I think we're going for these here. Ultimately, this is the Brexit candle here. We could even get a push up higher, ultimately clearing out Brexit's high, which is a longer term play for cable that I see potentially unfolding. Now we do have this ICT bullish order block that has been formed on a daily time frame, but keep in mind, if tomorrow we do get a strong bullish close above these candles, this would validate these candles here as an ICT bullish breaker. So we may not need the full retracement into this ICT bullish order block. We could just get a push above, solid bullish close, which would be a break in market structure on the daily. Look for our retest back into this ICT bullish breaker, because it may not need to come all the way down into this bullish order block since we've broken market structure. So that is a potential scenario that we could get for this. Now, if cable does come down and trade below this ICT bullish order block, more than likely it's going to want to go lower and clear up these lows. I don't see that being the case near term or even longer term, just from the price action we're getting right now, and what I've seen so far unfolding in cable. So with that being said, I am still expecting higher prices on cable. And last night I took a long, and I called it in my Telegram group, and I called two positions. So the first position that I called was around here. So you could see I got it on the charts at 141.80-ish is where I went long. So I went long right here at this blue arrow, and my stop loss was below this low here, and I ended up getting stopped out. So since that was the case, I was waiting for confirmation before long in this pair again. So I said keep an eye. If you're in the Telegram chat, then you would have seen this, but I basically said keep an eye on 1.4155, and if we trade down into there and show bullish price action, that would be a potential buy scenario. And so we got exactly that. After the trade got stopped out, I was waiting. So we got 15, 30, 45, about an hour I waited, and I'm going to show you exactly why I took this trade. So these vertical lines are just marking the daily open. So here we had equal lows. So the market had equal lows, and again, I was taught by ICT that equal lows aren't kept in the marketplace for long, and they look to run the liquidity of the equal lows or equal highs, double top, double bottom, whatever you call it, and then trade higher. And that's exactly the case that we got here. So I was watching that during London session, and one of the things that I was waiting for was a break in market structure based off of a key level, right? So let me actually take these lines off, and if we look on an hourly time frame, we had this move here. All right, these three down candles, once they were broken to the upside, they were now considered an ICT bullish order block. So on a 1 hour time frame, this is considered an ICT bullish order block. On a 3 hour time frame, it would be one candle, but if you're looking at it on an hourly time frame, it's three candles, right? So we've got an ICT bullish order block on an hourly time frame, equal lows right here, and the market's trading lower, okay? So now that we've got that key hourly ICT bullish order block marked out, we're waiting for the market to open, okay? Market opens. Sorry guys, it's going all over the place. Market opens, new day. This gray box is the ICT bullish order block. We're pushing away from it, so that's confirming buying. We came back here, took out this level of stops, but ultimately held this low, which was the full swing. So if you do A, B, C, D patterns, whatever, you can consider this A, B, C, and then potentially D. We didn't get that, so we traded back down. We started finding some support again, pushed up. Once we traded back into this, I expected them to hold it as support again and see a push up. Well, we didn't get that, and we basically found resistance, and we started trading lower. So I got stopped out below this low here, and I was trying to close my order a couple pips before I got stopped out, but it ended up just making this big down candle on a 5-minute chart and stopped me out real quick. But I was trying to get out up here a couple pips before it stopped me out, but nonetheless, it was about 10, 15 pips, 20 pips actually, 20 pip stop. So took a 20 pip loss on that, but no big deal because we waited for confirmation and got back in. So looking at this, we seen the market dropping down. We took out those key lows here. Market dropped down, took them out. Also within the gray box, which is an hourly ICT bullish order block, and we found support there. How do I know that we found support there? Because we made a low, a high, higher low, bam, pushed up, made a higher high, broke this high, which was a break in market structure. As soon as we traded back down, I entered here. So you always want to enter a few pips early because, as you can see, we don't always trade back into the level. So it's only about 4 pips. So I entered 4 pips before it got there. It just so happened to be pretty much right where the candle closed, and from there just seen straight movement up. Didn't see but about 2 pips of drawdown on this. Yeah, 2.6 pips of drawdown on this trade here. So we took a 20 pip loss, but as soon as we got the confirmation, we went back in, and as you can see, London session took my first profit here at 42 pips. So we lost 20 initially, made back 20 plus an additional 22, so we're up 22 for the day there. Scaled off another portion of my position here as it's dropping down, just in case it wanted to come any lower. So we took 30 pips off there, so that's a total of 50 pips. If we add that 30 plus the 20 we profited on this, so that's 50 pips for the day on that. And then I closed out the remaining portion of my position when I woke up this morning at 65 pips. And so that would be 110 pips for the day, even with taking the loss initially, okay? And you can see I still have a small position on here, just 0.01, super small position. And with that, I am up 79 pips currently at the moment. And the only reason I kept that small little position on is just because I want to see my take profit hit. And once that happens, then obviously I'll be able to share the chart showing that the full trade objective was reached. So that's my plans for this. I wouldn't recommend going long again until we get a solid retracement down into a key level again. And it is the end of the week. So, if you took this trade or UCAD or anything like that, I'd say we had a pretty solid week so far. I know I did between Euro and Cable. So, yeah, I mean, the plan is to keep doing this every single week. Make sure that we're constantly catching pips. It's okay if we take a loss because, as you can see here, we took a 20 pip loss initially, waited for confirmation, got back in, and then profited total 110 pips on the day. So, I mean, that's huge. You're normally looking for 20, 30 pips. When you come out 110 pips profitable on the day after taking a 20 pip loss, it's definitely a good feeling. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments. Or if you've taken this trade or UCAD, anything that you've taken from me this week, send it over to me. Whether it's a winner, loser, whatever, I'll try to talk about it with you, figure out what happened, why you entered where you did, and we'll talk about it and try to figure out and get your trading basically where you want it to be. So, oh, you know what? Let me go over UCAD real quick. Let's see. Yeah, so you could see, I mean, we really didn't do anything in UCAD, and the reason is we're in this ICT daily bullish order block here. We've had such a big move down so far. Now that we're in this key level of support, I think the market's just, it's going to trade sideways for a little bit, especially with dollar in that range. So I do still expect lower prices. Again, if you look at the trading view chart of dollar CAD that I posted in the weekly outlook video, on the daily time frame, I outlined all of these, and basically you could see, I mean, so far it's respected it. Any push up here, shorting opportunity. We didn't necessarily get a push up there, but we did break this low here. So far, we've retested it as expected, and still looking for continued downside. But just keep in mind, we're in this key support level. It is the end of the week, so we just need to be cautious on any trades that we take. And to be honest, I probably won't be going in USD CAD for the remainder of the week. I'm going to wait for next week and see if we can get some better price action in it. I believe we have, yeah, so if you look at Forex Factory, on Monday we have some high impact dollar news. Tuesday we got a lot of Canadian dollar and USD news. Wednesday we have Bank of Canada rate announcement, monetary policy reports, crude oil, BOC press conference. We have a ton of Canadian dollar news next week, so that could be what we're waiting on. So one thing that I'd like to see unfold is if they find support here, push it back up, see if we can hold this level here as resistance, show me a form of bearish price action on the 15 or 5-minute time frame in the form of lower highs and lower lows, which would confirm to me that we've got bearish market structure, and that they are holding this level of resistance. And from there, I would look for lower prices like so. So that is what I'm going to be looking for on dollar CAD. Again, I want to wait until next week and see if I can get some better price action on that. And you could see, I mean, yeah, all yesterday we really didn't get any movement. I mean, yesterday or the day before, sideways, sideways. And it's just because we're in that daily level of support. So just anticipate a possible retracement here on dollar CAD. Again, if we draw our swing fib projections, we can see that the 62 would clear out the buy stops here. We've got 70.5 coming into these down candles here, which is an ICT bearish breaker. 79% coming in right at this ICT bearish order block. So there's just a lot of possibility for them to want to come back up into this area before continuing lower on dollar CAD. So that's my prediction on that. Again, I'm going to sit on the sidelines and wait until I get better price action in it. And for tomorrow, the main things I'm looking for are potential long opportunities and cable, and seeing if we can get some further selling on the dollar index. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any questions, comments, anything, drop them in the comments below. I'll get back to you pretty much right away. I get the notification as soon as they come through. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on my daily technicals and weekly analysis videos, so I'm going to make sure to keep those coming for you guys. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit the little subscribe button right below this video. That way, each time I post, you'll be notified, and you can basically stay up to date on my analysis. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. I'm out.